Good morning, Tony Dattino. Coming off a fantastic Saturday afternoon where we had people competing for the 12 spots that we will be hosting at Full Sail University September 28th to see who is this year's USA Memory Champion. And I would be pleased to say that based on the fact that we don't have any confirmation of any prior year champions that are coming back to compete, we will have a new USA Memory champion identified this year. So that's exciting, and we met some terrific people. Erdem Dogum had to be one of my favorites because Erdem was in the finals last year, got down to Winter Park, Florida, and did not do well in the early rounds, and decided he was going to practice. And Erdem went to the task of practicing and building the skills and comes out as our number one competitor this past Saturday. So congratulations to Erdem, first of all, for getting knocked down, dusting off his backside, getting back up, and coming up with a vengeance and with a proof that you can, in fact, learn how to improve your memory skills. And he sure demonstrated that on Saturday as coming out on the top of the list. Anyone that wants to look at the scores and the events and the people that participated, go to the USA Memory Championship webpage, scroll down a little bit, and you'll find the listing of the people that participated, their ranking, their scores, and possibly you can take a look at it and think that you might be able to compete. But Erdem is certainly the person that kind of hit the bullseye in terms of proving that anyone can learn how to improve their memory, given the desire, first the belief, the desire to practice and apply those skills. We want to thank our partner, Simon from Australia. He's doing this in Australia. We're starting at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and Simon has just been part of the Memory League team that has supported our virtual games and just did a fantastic job of helping us navigate through the whole day. I think it went about as smooth as it could be, except the fact that he's in Australia at 1:30 playing the games until 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and I certainly hope that he's had a chance to get some rest. And we had one competitor from China who actually is a U.S. citizen registered, and she was equally up early in the morning and competing from China and wanting to be a part. We had people from all over the United States, and so it was really great to be able to do the virtual event. And we get 4 people from Texas. They were calling themselves out as the top state participating. So from Texas, we had Arizona, I think it was Michigan, certainly New Jersey, New York City, a couple from Florida. So we kind of mixed it up, which is wonderful when you can do the online competitions. We had Bonnie O'Hara, and Bonnie was a retired person competing, and all her goal was not to finish last. She was shocked with the fact she did not finish last. She moved up into the middle of the pack, did pretty darn well, and certainly found as she got going and started with this, the nerves and the anxiety of starting it eased up, and she said she had a lot of fun. She was glad she did it, and we had some great commentary from people that did participate in the event. And what I need to figure out is how can we get to see the interactions of that, because I think the interactions we had in between events and the dialogue we had with people about their experience, it was just fabulous. Casey Porter from the Dallas, Texas area, the first time competing, only practiced for the last month, finished up in the middle of the pack, did very well, considering he's only been practicing for a month, which now, as you look at his scores, and if Casey decides to come back next year, watch the progress and improvements that he makes, which again would be another example of anyone can learn to improve their memory. Briley, first-time competitor, has only been practicing for a little while, came in 4th place did super well on his events. Uh, did this did a speed event and just missed by a couple. And if he would have gotten those, he would have been in the second place position. So Briley, welcome to our event, and it was just great to have you be a part of it and having some new people that are coming in. So he's in fourth place, and he's coming to Winter Park, Florida, to compete. Who's got the best memory? And if he continues to do what he's done in a very short period of time, learning about the event and practicing for it, then it'd be amazing to see where he goes. Patricia Lee, a newcomer, college student, a ball of energy, jumped in a number of the events and did well for her first time going at this. And I think she's going to be a formidable competitor when we go to Full Sail University and do what we need to do for defining or identifying this year's USA Memory Championship. So overall, the day went very, very well. It goes by pretty darn quick. When you think of it, we had 5 events. We start images, names and faces, words, list, and cards. The afternoon went pretty quick. We started off at 11:30 and had people introduce themselves and why they wanted to be a part of it, which is always interesting and fun, and listening to what people said. And then at the end, we always asked people, so what did you thought? And a majority of them were very pleased. They started out with a little bit of stress and anxiety about nervous, and I always think that's great. I learned in my executive days at IBM that having nerves when you're getting up in presentation is a level of energy that really helps, as long as you can control that energy and utilize it. So I learned how to take the energy, the nervous energy, and convert it into positive. And I see the people at the end of the day that talked about, she started, I started, we started with a little bit of nervous energy, and it just dissipated, and boy, it was fun. It was great to be a part of it and see how I did against the other USA mental athletes that competed in it. We had 4 females that made the qualifying rounds and 2 alternates. So we got 6 out of the 14 would be females, which is wonderful, but believe it or not, for some reason, females seem to shy away from this, and I'm not sure why, since females seem to be one of the primary folks in the age 30 to 50 group that worry about their long-term mental health and Alzheimer's and cognitive impairments. And so here's an event that they can be a part of. It's a fun event. They can learn some things, practice these things on an ongoing basis, not every day, but once a week. Take one of the events and go play in the Memory League website, or come back into the USA Memory Championship website and take a look at some of the recordings that I do at Live with Tony, and improve their memories over the period of a year and see what they have. So it was wonderful to get at least 4 females into the finals and 2 alternates. So depending upon how we go, what we've experienced over the last 4 years of doing virtual and then coming to Full Sail, is usually 1 or 2, sometimes 3 people will drop out. And that brings me to Dora Farkas, who's the author of a book called Choices, a really interesting book about choices we get to make in life and how we go about it. And she just moved at the 15th. That she was very, very happy to want to move into the qualifying event. She was hoping to get to Winter Park. Hanging out on the 15th spot, she just may make it up there. We just may make the climb based on prior year's experiences. So, but Dora was, again, a fun competitor, eager to be a part of this and have a learning experience. And so we had a good diversity of people sharing experiences with one another and how they felt about it. And I could go on and tell you a story about every one of them, because I found that every one of the mental athletes that competed on Saturday had an interesting part of their life, a story about why they wanted to compete or how they felt after the competition. And probably the 2 biggest words I heard was, I was a little bit anxious with stress going into this, but boy, by the time I got in it was fun, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm looking forward to being back next year. So those are the most frequent comments, and I want to thank certainly Simon from Australia. I want to thank Robert Ajamian from MIT, who organized the Zoom and worked it flawlessly in terms of it. So Robert Ajamian from MIT's McGovern Brain Institute. Michael Dattino, who does the scoring, just does a great job of getting the scores in and converting them so people can find out where they're sitting. And of course, without Karen Pinson, I don't know that we'd have an event. So Karen Pinson, who's the senior executive responsible for all of the USA Memory Championship activities and games. And so I want to thank those people. And then Seth Gorson from Lumosity, who joined us to give everybody an opening congratulations. And it's great to have you here. And welcome the Lumosity users that were a part of it. So I've got a great team of people, from Michael to Karen to Robert to Simon, that all help pull this thing together. And without the help of Lumosity and getting their members signed up, and without the USA Memory Championship and getting people to come back to see if they can win the trophy for the USA Memory Championship. And then, of course, Robert Ajamian from MIT giving us the technical support, but also the scientific support that keeps everything in a reasonable sense of what's fair and reasonable in pushing the limits of human thought and using memory. So we are off and going. Our next event now is September 28th, which will be at Full Sail University, and we'll look forward to seeing people there, as well as that will go on YouTube on September 29th. So all is well. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.